Adrian, thanks for joining us. Just tell me a little bit more about Skanska in terms of what you're doing in Europe at the moment, and also just highlight a little bit in terms of the capital. I think you're beginning to look towards Asian capital.
Yes.
For the European market. So just tell me a little bit more about what you're doing there.
Thanks, Richard. Some time ago, we have been qualified as the biggest office development company in Europe, even though we are just operating on these two markets, Nordics and Central Europe. So last year we have sold 20 buildings. Just in Central Europe it was around 500 million euro. So we are actually looking towards exploring and maybe also diversifying the pool of investors, because we have so many projects and even more to come, so that we have to look for new sources of capital. We are, of course, very happy with the current base of our German clients, and however, having 500 million euro just in Central Europe, it's tough. It's tough. So we have to look for new ways.
And in terms of the capital that you're looking at, is that Japanese capital, Korean capital? Who are looking at the types of development that you've got to offer?
You ask about Japan. I think this is still to come. There are just few guys maybe analyzing Poland, Czech Republic. But in the meantime, I'm sure you have heard about Koreans. So they are very keen because of some different aspects of the market, not necessarily the real estate. However, of course, they are looking at the liquidity, they're looking at the long leases and quite big volumes of properties. But still there is an advantage for them of having the positive or premium towards the FX rate between won and euro. And this, of course, our countries, because all of the properties in Central Europe are leased and eventually sold in euros, so this is something they are actually looking for. So there are first transactions on the market. They are using local fund managers, so first transactions on the office market, because in the past, let's say 2-3 years ago, they have done first deals with actually General Land Lease. They bought Amazon logistic warehouses in Poznań and Wrocław. But just recently they have entered an office market in Poland. They have bought Seeded from Immobel. And they have also entered Czech Republic. They bought a KPMG building called Florence. That's quite impressive to see them. And we personally, or like as Skanska, we have managed to attract capital from Philippines. Just 6 months ago in Katowice, they bought from us 60 million euro worth of 2 office buildings, and they are quite happy. They just right now acquired another project in Gdańsk, so they are expanding. I know that they're looking at the other cities, so this is very interesting for us. So I think the more is to come. We have also some Singaporean capital looking at especially Warsaw, because of the size of transactions. I don't think they will go below 100 million euro. Take into account the fact that there are a few towers on the market coming in Warsaw. This is something that they are maybe even preparing for.
What's driving them towards CEE?
In the past, as you know, you're Richard from London, so they have been investing very much into London. There's lots of Asian capital in the real estate market in London. But since there are some obvious reasons to hesitate a bit to invest in UK, and also there is this not so much of an advantage between Korean won and the British pounds, like Korean won and the euro. So they move towards Paris. They move, of course, into German cities, but it is so competitive right now. So that's why they're looking at a bit of a higher yielding assets. And this is what Central Europe is offering, because you have Warsaw at around 4.5%. You have Prague in the same range. So this is something they are quite keen on, to have a bit of a more yield to distribute back home in Korea or in Singapore.
You mentioned there that you've got a lot of developments in the pipeline.
Yep.
Is that in capital cities or secondary cities in Poland? What are you developing at the moment?
Of course, we are keen on gateway cities like Prague, Warsaw, Bucharest, Budapest. But again, as you know, the structure of the Polish market, we are kind of similar to Germany because we have Warsaw plus quite strong or very strong regional cities like Wrocław, Krakow, Tri-City, Poznań, Łódź, Katowice. So we have also investors already buying into Wrocław and Krakow, and then treat Wrocław and Krakow as a strong alternative to Warsaw. So that's the structure of Poland. I don't think this will happen in any other country in Central Europe, like Czech Republic, Hungary, Romania. But Poland has this advantage that if you buy in Warsaw, you can still diversify into other cities of the Polish real estate market.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much.